begin with that, Krishna, because you are also being honored today with a very special award, the NewsX Shakti Award. So for you, what is your Shakti Mantra and where do you derive your Shakti from in real life?
That's a great question. Honestly, for me, I always say you're as good as the company that you keep, and I mean, in my instance, it's top notch. I honestly am so inspired by the people closest to me, which is number one, my brother, of course, Tiger, my father and my mother. They've definitely, shaped me into the woman I am today. They've allowed me to kind of just go out there, experience, explore life for what it is, make mistakes along the way, but learn from that. And I think it's just made me an overall better human being, a stronger human being. So I would definitely say my family.
Okay, Krishna, I'd just like to understand from you, you're talking about your family. Your dad is such an icon, and rightly so. Your brother, of course, doing exceptionally well in the movies. But your mom always seems like she's the rock of the family. So what is it growing up that you've learned from her?
I think the biggest thing I probably have taken from my mom is just to be kind, She's always told us, you never know what someone's going through in life, so whether you're having a shit day or not, it's not on them, so always be kind, always smile. You never know what that could do for someone and their day going forward, and I think no matter what life throws at you, always try to look at the silver lining in things. She's the most positive woman I know. She's been through a lot in life herself, but again, I just feel like she's become stronger for it, and she's been able to stay that positive force of energy in everyone's life. And if she walked in here today, I mean, she radiates this light that I've seen, no one else can.
And did your mom really push you into taking up this fitness journey that you've done, over the years? We've seen, of course, the spotlight shift from you just becoming this really person that people really look up to as far as fitness is concerned. I mean, so many people follow you, young girls who want to just now emulate what you've done for yourself. So what was the motivating factor to really take up fitness?
When I first found fitness, I was in a very strange phase of my life. Mm-hmm. I felt like I didn't necessarily have an identity of my own. I was being kind of lost amongst this massive legacy that my family has and is. So, fitness, it really just came to me automatically. It's not something I planned to get into, especially as a profession. It's given me that identity away from who everyone expected me to be or what they expected me to do in the film industry, of course. Mm-hmm. And it's something I'll forever be grateful for. I feel like I'm on such a right path when I get these messages from people all over the world, women and men, telling me I've, inspired them or motivated them to live a healthier lifestyle, a better quality of life in some way or the other. I think it's so important to spread that message to the youth of our country, especially today, because they're our future. And nothing in this world, whatever the things we work for, fame, money, whatever it is, none of it matters without your health.
Absolutely.
Did you feel that you had that pressure or expectation, early on that perhaps you would also get into the film industry in some way or the other? Be it an actor or be it a writer, director. Did you feel that pressure or was there that expectation?
Absolutely. But I really let that pressure get to me when I was at a very influential, I was a young teenager at the time, and those outside opinions and voices, they really matter to you at that age. But I'm such a strong believer of, truly doing what I feel passionate about. And life is too short to not do what you love every single day. I'm definitely blessed to have, this massive legacy and this name that I come from, because it's allowed me to have a platform to kind of dwell into my, my passions and kind of experiment and have that head start and that platform to take it forward, So while I'm so grateful and so thankful for that, I quickly realized it's really not something that's for me. And I actually got my bachelor's in film production. So I studied for 2 years. It was actually a 3-year course that was accelerated. Finished that in 2 years and then came back to Bombay and assisted on a couple of my brother's films. And that's exactly when I realized that this is not what I want to do. And then I was just, blessed a couple years later to find fitness and the whole wellness space.
How did you choose MMA? Now, of course, Matrix Fight Night, MFN, has become, a household name. You had a very successful edition not too long ago in Delhi, in fact, in NCR in Noida. How did you choose MMA and how did you feel that India would love it?
I followed the sport of mixed martial arts for a very, very long time. It's been about 2 decades, I'd say. I have respect for athletes all across all games. I've been an athlete growing up. My brother and I always joke we really only attended school to play on the sports teams. So, sports and all of that has really been at the core of who I am from a very young age. MMA is a sport I've been following because I greatly respect these athletes, not just for their physicality, but their mental strength as well. What these guys and girls do and what they possess, I believe no one else in the world can or does. They're superhumans in their own right, and I believe India especially has so much talent that goes unnoticed in the sport, primarily because of the lack of infrastructure and the lack of promotion that we have for it. It's still a very new foreign concept. But I think, mixed martial arts definitely was the birth of MMA in India for Indian athletes. And Matrix Fight Night, my promotion, has very quickly become one of South Asia's leading promotions. From our very first show, we saw a live audience, about 1,000 people. Cut to, like you said, our last edition, just this past August, we had a live crowd of 16,000 people live in the stadium. Yeah.
Just before I go back to Devika, and she has another couple of questions for you. I have to ask, you just said, you and your brother are great athletes. Competitive ever? Who's the better athlete in fitness or sport?
Listen, I think that's a little unfair. I'll give that to him 100%. He's the reason I got into this. He's my inspiration, and I'm very open in saying that. He was my inspiration when I first got into it. But now, I can honestly, very strongly say I'm my own inspiration because I've seen my journey, and where I started to where I've come from. And that's just motivation for me to keep going.
So, Krishna, what's your fitness routine like? I'm sure you've shared that in the past as well, but just for our audiences, what is a day in your life like as an entrepreneur, also someone who really deeply cares about her own body and health?
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's an everyday thing. I always feel like when people say they're too busy or they have too much going on, I think that's an excuse. And I look at that as weakness, because everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. What is 45 to an hour out of that day to prioritize you, because it's only going to better you for what you have coming up later on in your day or your life. So for me specifically, I love to start my days with my fitness. I go to the gym. I love weight training. That's, that's my passion. I think like many other people, I'm not a big fan of cardio. I do get that a little bit through boxing, but I love to start my days being active, being present in the gym. It's honestly just therapeutic, no matter what's going on in my life, good or bad, that hour and a half to 2 hours I spend in that gym it's all I'm thinking about. I'm super dialed in and super focused, and I just believe it sets the tone for the rest of my day. And it allows me to have a more positive day going forward.
On the bad days, how do you get yourself to really just go to the gym and, get back into it?
I mean, see, I'm human too at the end of the day. While this is my passion and I love doing it, it doesn't feel like a chore to me. There are days where I feel lazy. I don't necessarily want to get out of the house, get out of bed even. We as women especially, we have our monthly cycle, so hormones are all over the place. So we have it double hard. But I think my motivation to push through that feeling and just go forward would probably be, like I was saying earlier, I know where I started and what I come from. And I think there's something so empowering in seeing how much you're able to push yourself, your body, and your mind at the gym, week by week, day by day. It's just, like I said, a very empowering feeling. So I think, keeping that in mind and remembering those things allows me to push forward.
And before I go back to there, what's your strategy now going ahead as far as taking fitness to not just the youth, but also all segments? I'm assuming that you want to target everyone, right? Because fitness ultimately is for all ages. And your entire family is so fit. All of you, not just Tiger and yourself, your parents are also so fit. So how do you plan to, as an entrepreneur, now take that idea of like family fitness to the rest of India? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, my parents definitely lead by example. We've also started, MMA Matrix, which is our chain of gyms. It's an MMA and fitness studio. We actually have our flagship gym in Mumbai, of course. And we've signed 16 franchises, pan-India, with currently 8 of them being operational. So, you know, just spreading the brand across India and just spreading this message of, like I said, your health is truly your wealth. As unoriginal as it may sound, it is definitely a fact.
Yes. Okay, before we get to your much acclaimed and talked about journey, which even Isha Gupta was just talking about on the show, Khatron Ke Khiladi, which I know your fans want me to ask you on. I have to quickly ask you just spoke about family fitness and about, you know, Matrix as well. But let's talk about your parents and what their favorite fitness routine is. So do you guys give tips to your parents as well, Tiger and you? And what is Aisha ji's favorite, fitness routine? And also Jackie Shroff, we often see him, of course, on the race course. We know that's a sport he enjoys. But what's another favorite sport or exercise of his?
He loves yoga. He's a big believer in yoga. He's always, trying to get my brother and I to do it. We haven't necessarily found the patience for it yet. My brother and I are a little more fast-paced. We like a little more intense kind of training. My mom, on the other hand, actually, she is my training partner. So she keeps up with me at the gym. And it's the best thing. Like I said, they lead by example, and my brother and I are who we are today because of the example that they've set for us.
Yeah. Let's now talk, of course, about Khatron Ke Khiladi, the latest season, which, of course, today is the 14th, and you just did season 14. What a coincidence. So what was the decision to go on the reality show? What went through your mind when the offer first came for you? And did you surprise yourself that you emerged as runner-up?
Absolutely. It was a crazy once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The show actually came to me 2 years ago.
Okay.
And at the time, I was very adamant in the fact that I'm not going to do it. I think I was in a very different phase in my life again at that time, where I didn't necessarily have the confidence or feel too secure with myself to put myself out there like that, especially reality TV, It shows all sides of you, all angles of you, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, especially a show like Cutthroat, So 2 years ago, I felt like I didn't necessarily have that security within myself to put myself out there on such a massive platform. But when it came back to me 2 years later, I think I'm in a much more secure spot in my life now, and I was ready to, take on the challenge and just put it all out there. And honestly, I think, especially my brother's fan following, the supporters that he has in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, they're the most loyal, amazing fan base in the world. And, the little bit of a fan base that I've been able to garner on social media through my Instagram, it's very niche. It's a very niche audience.
Right, yes.
So my idea for taking on the show now was to connect with a larger amount of people, in the tier 2, tier 3s, and just kind of let them know who I am on not just on the surface level, but just all aspects of me. And I'm really grateful for the show. It's been a huge blessing in my life. The fact that I was able to reach the finals, and perform the finale stunt with two incredible, strong competitors in Karanveer and Kashmir. From the very beginning, everyone was saying that they were the toughest competition. And to be the only woman, not just in the top 5, but then also in the top 3, and then coming out strong at the end. It was an amazing highlight in my life that I'll never forget, to be able to represent women in that.
Absolutely, and come out runner-up. What was your most difficult stunt?
Honestly, I wasn't scared of getting electrocuted, and now I'm scared of that. The shock stunts are ridiculous. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, that can't be real, that's dangerous, this and that. But, I mean, obviously they make us sign something before, so it's very, very real. So I would say the shock stunts were really bad. And, of course, my biggest phobia, like everyone saw, whoever watched the show, creepy crawlies. One of the things I actually told the producers when they came to me 2 years ago is, no amount of money you pay me is going to make me do it, because I ain't sitting in a box full of cockroaches or snakes.
And you did, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, barely, but I did.
Yeah. Who's one contestant you'd love to keep in touch with forever?
There are a few of them. You know, the girls actually were a big, big support to me throughout my journey over there. And, you know, a lot of them, actually all of them have had the experience on television and, you know, in that life. And it was my first time.
Yeah.
So they were all really helpful, very supportive, great mentors. But if you ask me to choose one person, I'd say probably Nimrit. Nimrit and I are still in touch. In fact, we just spoke before coming here. So
yes, Nimrit Kaur Aluwale, let me tell you,
Yes.
was honored at our Mumbai edition with
amazing.
NewsX Shakti Award.
She deserves it. She's a solid woman.
And one maybe you wouldn't keep in touch with, or you feel maybe, you know, as much as the others?
I couldn't tell you. They're all amazing human beings. Yeah, I had a great experience.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Krishna, we have to unfortunately wrap up, but we're going to quickly do a rapid fire with you. I'm going to, of course, begin by asking favorite actor. It can't be Dad.
Tiger.
Oh, yeah,
All in the
that's
family.
yeah, not the family, but all right, I'll take that. Your favorite actress?
In Bollywood
Anywhere.
or Hollywood, everywhere.
Hollywood, yes.
I don't know if a lot of people know this, but my mom's actually done one movie ages ago, and she
Wow.
she was the first woman in our industry to ever wear a bikini.
Oh, wow.
You know, so she was a trendsetter of her own, and I really look up to that confidence and that self-love, and so I'd probably say my mom.
That's a fun fact you've given us about Aisha Shroff today. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Dad's favorite movie?
Dad's favorite movie? Oh, I loved him in Brothers with Akshay Kumar and Sid Malhotra. He was
okay.
Yeah.
Quite a recent choice.
Yeah. I love
Yes,
that.
and Tiger's favorite movie?
I'd say Baghi too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That movie made me cry 10 minutes while the credits were still rolling. So.
And finally, let's end with two truths and a lie with you. Let's
When you asked Isha this, I was thinking of what I'm going to say.
What you're gonna say,
It's
yeah.
hard. I haven't
Yeah.
thought. I'm going to steal one of hers.
Okay.
I'm getting married next year.
Okay.
I have a film that I'm in the process of signing.
Okay.
Hold on, it's two truths and one lie,
two
right?
truths and one lie, yeah.
Okay, so let me change that up again. Ignore the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take that out. I have one film that I'm signing next year. I am going to continue on in the reality space on television.
Okay.
And I'm more of a homebody than someone that likes to go out.
Okay.
Okay, great. We're going to leave our audiences, viewers, with those two truths and a lie. And of course, let us know in the comments. But Krishna, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you at the We Women Want Shakti Awards
Thank you so much.
2024 in Delhi. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And thank you and congratulations, Krishna Jackie Shroff, because
you.
you're being honored
Thank you
today
so much.
as well with an award very soon. Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.